Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 610, Wednesday, December 14th, 33 degrees. Get up to 43 today, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the radio pop app at WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are now joined by Jillian Messina in studio. And I noticed you texting right off the bat. I thought we don't do that.
I actually wasn't texting.
You were playing with your phone.
I was playing with my phone, but I wasn't.
That's one of your rules for me is like no media and stuff.
The rules for you.
Yeah, even though I just had somebody play a word against me in Words with Friends.
That's messed up.
Which is cool because I'm playing against my cousin who lives in China.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
See, that's where social media comes in handy.
That's right. It's kind of cool. And he is so much smarter than me. It's ridiculous. It's like sad how much smarter than me he is.
I play friend Julie, and she whoops me every time.
I get beaten down pretty. There's certain people that beat me down really badly.
Then there's some that just win every time.
I beat you the first time we played.
Second time.
What? Okay, whatever. Listen,
and then you haven't won after that.
We played like 3 games. Anyway,
Jill, need one thing on
I think you're like setting a record. This is your 3rd appearance here, or is this your 4th?
This is my 4th because I came one time with Chief.
4th?
Yeah.
I think you may
I got to have co-host.
Outside of Phil Brilliant, you may have been here the most.
I'm so honored.
Yeah, I mean, you may even beat Kenny here. No, Kenny was probably on because Kenny did a couple shows.
Kenny's great.
Yeah. You're in the top 5 though, for sure, for appearances.
That.
And which is kind of ironic because honestly, you don't really have a job or anything. I don't really know what you do. I don't even know how you end up on the show.
Listen, I don't know.
It's
fun though, right?
Yeah, you're like a super fan. It's like a super fan roundtable. No. Okay.
It's kind of not the same without the emojis, though. Not gonna lie.
So I know the emoji balloons. Those were cool. They took us like an hour to take them down. So you are already working. So in all seriousness, though, you're still volunteer for the Toms River Police Department, right?
Yes, but I'm this close.
To what? to being out or to being on the payroll?
I'm applying there.
Oh, you're applying for the police academy?
Can you see me in the police
yes.
academy?
Yeah. So listen, if Hightower made it, you could. So what are you gonna? You're gonna be like some kind of community outreach person for them.
I'm hoping to. I'm applying for a position there, and we'll see how it goes.
Do you need a reference letter or something? Because I'll
try
to find someone
to
get that for you.
I should have seen that coming.
Yeah. So talk to us. You're already working on next summer's big event.
We are. We're going to make it bigger this year. We're working on the Pros vs. Heroes game, but it's turned into a whole summer kickoff weekend with the police department.
Really?
Yeah. So we're doing Hogs for Humanity.
Hogs for Humanity?
Yeah, Hogs for Humanity.
Is that what? Tell me that's motorcycles.
It is. It's
okay.
Hogs for Humanity, Ride for the Child,
okay.
And it is a motorcycle poker run. And it's going to kick off the Jersey Shore Festival that weekend on Saturday morning.
Okay.
So we have that going on, and then we're going to have the Play 60 Clinic, which is the NFL's playing the kids with the kids.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have the big game. And this year we're working on some different players. Some more active players. We have some retired players that are very engaging with the kids, and we called them back, and they were really excited about it already. So we're working on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, last. Can you do something? You can't hear in there? Sorry. Is it? How about now? That's better.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Are you? That was us adjusting our headphone levels. By the way, I always think when I listen to Preferred Company. And when the first 5 minutes of the show always go like this, Marianne walks in and she goes, "Ugh, I'm in such a bad mood because it's cold today, and I hate the cold." And Joel says, "Marianne, I don't know why your attitude is dictated by the weather." And then she says, "Oh, Joel, you got a horrible echo. You need to turn me off." And he goes, "Turn you off?" And she goes, "Yes, turn me off." And then he turns something, and then she goes,
"No, it's you have to mute."
Yeah. I have to mute too. Our listener friends, you don't know what I'm talking about. But we have to mute, right? And so that's the first 5 minutes of every show, right?
Oh,
Zach, did I pretty much hit that?
I don't know. Sometimes.
No, she's always happy.
That's the first 5 minutes of every show.
She's always happy.
Yeah, there's a discussion of weather, then there's a discussion of technical difficulties, right? And then they can launch into something else. That's whatever. So we just did our little preferred company moment because your headphone level wasn't high enough. Anyway, so I digress.
It was not at all, and I'm thinking, should I have these on?
Yeah.
Do I look funny?
Yeah, no. Tell me, are you going to do something with the weather this year? Because I have to say, if I have one complaint about the way that the event was organized last year, it was that you really did a poor job of planning it weather-wise. Can you speak to that issue?
You know what? You're not wrong, but I can honestly say.
Is that your phone going off?
It's my wake-up alarm.
That's great.
Yeah, it's my
Thanks,
wake-up
Jill.
alarm.
That wasn't
Sorry.
intrusive at all to the show.
The phone's on silent. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. As far as the weather goes, we have planned a rain date.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's the weekend, so it's
That's
Saturday,
hard, right?
rain date Sunday. So, but it's more than we were able to do last year.
Right. But by the way, we're gonna do a tech tip for you here real quick.
How do you shut it off?
No, listen to me. When your phone's on silent, the alarm goes off anyway because it's supposed to be an alarm that wakes you from silence.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the alarm.
But I just realized I did shut my alarms off. It wasn't the alarm.
Because that's how these newfangled iPhones work.
I'm not really good at them, but I have it on silent.
Are you prepared to tell us any of the players that have already committed for next year, or is that still super secret?
It's still super secret.
Do you have any so? Are we going to have the same major sponsors as last year? Like, are the teams being sponsored the same way?
I'm really hoping so.
Because
I haven't approached all the sponsors, so I don't want to be. I don't want to.
Well, we want to do it again. So, but we sponsored the pros last time, and amazingly, your husband got to sponsor the heroes.
Well, it will be his third year in a row sponsoring the heroes.
So I have to wait until he's done with the event, which probably means that you'd be done with the event.
I'm not going to be done with the event.
Which probably means that I'm never going to have a chance.
Event.
I'm never going to have a chance to actually sponsor the heroes. I'm always going to have the bad guys.
This may be one of my favorite events, so I will not be done.
All right. Jill, when we come back, can we talk about wine?
I would love to talk about wine.
Let's talk about wine because you're quite the sommelier.
Okay.
I
know what that is, but I'm not.
Okay. And I'm going to try to use that in my Words with Friends game right now. Sommelier would definitely be worth
have those letters?
Lots. Not a chance.
Can
More
you
Wake
spell
Up
it?
with Jeremy Grunin, Jill Messina back after this.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin wherever you go. Download the Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. I'm Jeremy Grunin. We're here with Jillian Messina. We're talking about a variety of different things.
Seems like he's trying to stall by
No,
talking
I'm not
slow.
trying to stall. I just know you don't have a lot of content, and so we're trying to make sure.
That's what I mean.
I'm joking. So this is our wine segment, and so tell me your affiliation with wine. I mean, what's your deal with wine?
I grew up kind of making wine over at Bacchus Winery on
Okay.
Route 37, and my father has become quite the wine connoisseur, and he is now one of the partners in Bacchus.
No, the action shot doesn't work for the picture when you actually wave at the camera.
Well,
Okay.
I'm happy.
Go ahead.
So he's
So
one of the
Bacchus
new
Wine,
partners
which is over
in
on Route
Bacchus.
37.
Yes. And we've been making wine there since I can remember, honestly. And we actually, this Sunday, just bottled our newest barrel, which is the Barbera wine.
Right, okay.
And I hear it's delicious.
And so Bacchus, so explain this to me because I get confused. There's Bacchus and there's Windowen. They're next to each other,
They're next
right?
to each other.
But one is a brewery.
One is a brewery.
And one is a winery.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Bacchus is the winery.
Yes.
Windowen's the brewery.
Yes.
Got it now. Okay, now,
Bacchus.
where do the grapes come from?
All over. They come from California. Some come from Argentina. I mean, they come from all over. And in the years of Bacchus, from birth to now, they've really taken the I guess you could say it started out simple, and now they have a whole chemistry to it, and they've gone and they've found the best grapes, and they've decided these weren't so good, these are good. Like you used to, when you first started making wine, when my parents first started making wine, it would be hit or miss. Like, oh, we got good grapes this year.
Right.
No, now you always get good grapes. It
Right.
just depends on your taste. But now they have it just so mastered now that if you make wine there, you're getting good wine.
Right. So have you ever been to Napa, Sonoma?
No, but I heard you were there recently.
Yeah. So does your dad go there, or has he been there? Or?
I'm trying to think. I know he goes to Italy, but I don't.
Yeah, that's close.
If he's ever been to
they're
California.
very, California, Italy. I think they're the same.
So crazy. I see my dad 100 times a day, and I have no idea.
You don't know if he's ever been to California. Well, that's all right. So for our listeners who don't know how it works, right?
It's so fun.
So if you go to Sonoma or Napa, right, there are I don't know. I'm going to round and say there's 10,000 vineyards there, right? It's like literally not 10,000, but there's tons and tons of vineyards there, and a lot of the vineyards bottle their own wine. Right, and then you see what you see, which is the Duck Horns and the Davis Estates and whatever, and then some of those vineyards also sell off some of their grapes, right, to either other wineries for the most part, and then there are small wineries, right, which are like somebody somebody owns a couple acres in the valley and they have their house there. And they work the land for not enough to bottle really a line, but enough that they could kind of sell their grapes. And so when you find one of those little wineries that really has a nice exposure to the sun, and it's like a certain the clouds hit it a certain way. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. There's like a whole Russian valley or whatever that they say because it's up in a mountain. And because the way the clouds cover it, it creates more moisture and it makes the grapes blah blah. I mean, it's like it really is.
No, it's definitely, there's a science to it. One of the things that I love about making our own wine is you go through the entire process. So you start with the crush, and you devine the grapes, and it all crushes into a vat. And then a week later, you go back for the press, and then they rack it for you, or they change it and they clean out the barrel, and then you go back almost a year later, and 8 months later, and you go bottle it. So it's a fun process.
So it makes for a perfect holiday gift.
It makes for the
local
perfect
wine. You're
holiday
shopping
gift.
Local, and you're getting wine.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what they have? What they do is, if they get grapes, they order them based on people's orders, but then they order some more because people always come in later and say, "Oh, I wanted to make that," or "Oh, I wanted to make that." Well, instead of throwing the grapes out, they'll make the rest of the wine there.
Right.
So then they have what's called orphaned barrels. So
Aww.
I know, right? But that gives people who don't know about it the opportunity to go in later and say, listen, I didn't get to make it this time and do the first two spots, but they can go bottle a barrel and get an orphan barrel and still get nice holiday gifts, and they get the whole bottling experience.
Very nice. Right. So that's the other thing there is that at Bacchus you could do the whole kind of like tour of the, you could kind of
tour
see
and the tasting.
Yeah, and you don't even have to go to California, and you could see the whole thing right
and it's
here.
Really nice inside, isn't it?
Right here on Route 37, and then you can go to the Mellow Mushroom, which is about to open.
I know.
And
is that an odd name for a pizzeria?
I have my own personally. I mean, it sounds like it's trying to be some kind of weird, drug reference to me.
Like, I was just thinking it's a turnoff if you don't like mushrooms. Like,
really?
You may not have mushrooms on your pizza, but
I don't like
why
mushrooms.
do you want to go to the mellow mushroom?
But I like that they're mellow. I mean, you would like that. They're kind of chill. It's like a chill mushroom.
I'm so chill, aren't I?
Yeah, I mean, that's you. When I think of chill, I think of Jill. When I think of chill. All right, when we come back, let's talk about, you still doing work with the schools? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that when we get back,
I'd
all right?
love to.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, Jill Messina. Don't forget, Dr. Rajesh Lear, radiation oncologist. He'll be joining us later. I'm sure I've been saying his name wrong for 3 days. Back after this.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:34, Wednesday, December 14th, 33 degrees, getting up to 43 degrees. WOBM AM 1160, 1310, News Talk Radio, streaming live on the radio, pop app, and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. Here with Jillian Messina. Jill, I got to say, the Silver Spoons theme song, not good.
I know.
Family Ties theme song, not good. Facts of Life,
but we
good.
knew the words.
Facts of Life, good.
Yeah. See, I brought that one up.
Different
I feel like
Strokes.
You woke up through the break.
Different
You're
Strokes,
different right
good.
now.
Different Strokes was good.
Yeah.
You know, Gilligan's Island, good.
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
I love that show. I don't remember the song though right now.
Now sit right back and you'll hear
Oh,
a
thank
tale,
you.
a tale of
That's
a
the best
fateful trip
one.
that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. All right.
You just want to sing it because you knew the words.
Mighty sailor, man. The skipper brave and sure. Anyway, Jill, talk to me. Now that we're teaching people, do you remember Schoolhouse Rock?
I don't remember Schoolhouse Rock.
Really?
No.
You don't remember
sorry.
Conjunction Junction? What's your function? You don't remember that?
I may have been out playing.
Oh, you don't remember? I'm just a Bill. I'm just a lonely Bill on Capitol Hill.
No, you're not going to remind me. I don't
All right.
remember it.
Well, that's how
Rock?
that's how I learned things when I was a kid. But now kids go to school to learn, I guess.
Yeah.
So talk about the program that you're running in the schools or in the school.
In the school right now, we started a program 4 years ago called AIE, and it stands for Attitude is Everything. And basically, with young girls, he's bopping his head. It's very distracting because he's not paying attention to me.
I am totally. I'm trying to figure out how to best utilize this Z in Words with Friends. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're trying to teach girls that we're all in this together, and girls tend to make a judgment about a person without knowing them, and it's an unfortunate fact. And one of the things that we want to teach girls is you don't need to do that. If you don't have to like everybody, but stick with people, make you feel good about yourself. Don't try so hard. Friendships are not supposed to be forced, and just be kind. There's no reason to be mean. You're wasting your time if you're talking bad about people. And just enjoy life. We're all in it together. We're all trying to figure it out. And your attitude is really everything when it comes to that stuff. And 2 years in, the boys were like, hey, what are we doing? We need something. So I partnered up with Chief Little and the Toms River Police Department, and we formed HERO, which is helping everyone respect others. And the police officers go in and they teach the boys nice things like chivalry and respecting the teachers, respecting yourself, and just be a friend to people and grow up and just be a good person. And that's all stuff that and that your parents tell you, but sometimes hearing it from an authority figure, somebody, outside the home is a little bit more impactful for some reason. I know that happens with my kids too sometimes.
Yeah.
But right now we're currently just in Cedar Grove Elementary, and it's been amazing. This is our 4th year now, our 2nd year with Heroes and our HERO, and our 4th year with AIE. So I'm hoping maybe to expand it through the district next year. We're currently just in 4th grade. We had played with a bunch of different grades, but there's also the GREAT program out there, and that's in 5th grade. So we're going to leave that where it is and hopefully expand 4th grade throughout the district. Haven't approached a district yet, but I'm hoping.
I believe very strongly the whole district should have 4th grade.
Well, 4th grade for my programs.
For your
yeah,
program.
I could see where
Okay,
you were
I
going
was
with
gonna.
that. Yeah.
I thought maybe some of the schools.
I knew what you were
they
doing.
skipped 4th grade. Okay, Jill. So that's a cool program, and you do all this stuff like just volunteering. Where did this come from? Like, I know you've mentioned it before. So, like, I always feel like because you're relatively young, right? You're definitely you're under 40, right?
I am under 40.
Okay, good. So you're under 40, and it's rare to see people who are under 40 volunteering at a high level, right? Because typically, like, you see a lot of volunteering as people get older, right? And they have more time. The kids are out of the house. Well, I mean, you have little kids.
Yeah, I do.
You got a husband who has like a company, right? Contracting. Yeah. So where did the volunteerism come from?
You know what? I grew up with my family always volunteering for something. I remember doing bike tours for St. Jude's and for Christy Lee bike tours for children with cancer. Ever since I was little, I just remember my parents always said, you do what you can and you give back when you can. And I saw a need. I remember being bullied in elementary school. And, I tell my kids there's a difference between a bully and a brat. And I want kids to know that. And sometimes with a brat, you can just kind of shake them up a little and they can become your friend. And there's a a theory that every bully has a story, and sometimes if you can break through it, you can change them too. And maybe I'm crazy to think that you can change the world, but I feel like if I can, I'm gonna try.
So you want to change the world one bully at a time?
One bully at a time.
That sounds like a mantra. That's a good one. So
Can
what
you
does
write
that?
a song for
so
me?
wait, what does that have to do? What does that have to? So where does that tie in with the police? Because you have a huge you have this whole
That is a really funny story how I got tied into the police, and you and I have laughed about this. It goes back to LinkedIn, and you swipe to the right if you know somebody, or left, or whatever you do, and
I thought that's if you wanted a date.
No,
oh, that's Tinder.
LinkedIn.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what Tinder is.
You're doing great. Go ahead.
No idea what Tinder is, but I'm sure you'll tell me later. I had just Chief Little came up, and I said, "Oh, my husband knows him. My father knows him. Yeah, I'll connect with him." And within an hour, I got a message from him saying that he was working on the Pros vs. Heroes game and he could use some help. And we just connected. And our police department does so much in the community. I think that a lot of people don't really realize, and the community outreach and the youth outreach that they're working on. And I just became very involved because I think it's so great. And if you can, develop a relationship between police officers and children at a young age, you can absolutely help them maybe to make a better decision as they get older, because, officer so-and-so may be disappointed if they make a bad decision. And it just became something that I really became passionate about, especially in our community, because I grew up in Toms River and I love Toms River. And I just want to see good things happen.
I think you bring up a good point, not about the police, but about Tinder, because we haven't really. I think it's time that we, we're only a couple days from the end, Zach, and I think it's time that we pull the curtain back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let them know.
We've made the inside Tinder joke many times, because when we usually say,
I hear you.
Yeah, we ask people to give their Facebook, their Instagram, their LinkedIn, their website, their whatever, and then we say Tinder, and we always laugh. Zach and I have our own little inside joke, because if they don't laugh, then we think it's even funnier than if they do laugh, because if they don't laugh, that means they don't really know what Tinder is, and that's funny.
I have no idea what Tinder is.
Tinder is a dating app. Okay.
Oh, well, I don't need Tinder.
Okay, but hold on. It's a dating app, but it's also known more as like a hookup app. And it's very simple. You see pictures, and if you see somebody's picture and you aren't interested in their picture, you swipe to the left. If you see their picture and you're like, "Oh, he/she is cute."
What if it's not them?
You swipe to the right. And that's how you end up with a date. So it's completely.
What if you accidentally swipe the wrong way? Can you find them again?
Yeah, you have to figure it out. No, you have to figure it out. But it's very. The point here is that it's almost completely based on physical appearance, right?
Terrible.
Which is which ultimately ends up in just a lot of people hooking up. Is what it goes down to.
Because you need substance.
Right. Which is why I've never used Tinder in my life, because I would have no chance of ever getting a date. When we come back, though, we're going to give you one more segment, and we're going to give you your final magic wand on the Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin show. And it has to be different than the magic wands you've used in the past.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
Jill Messina, Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back after this.
Rush Limbaugh today at noon. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We were having nostalgic Toms River talk here. Myself, Jill, and Kevin Williams.
Thank you, Kevin.
And we were talking about it's been a kind of a sad year because we've lost the Toms River Diner, we've lost Rivoli's. And I know, but these are like restaurants that have been here for 30 plus
They're
years.
Legends. They're Toms River legends.
And then we talked about Bob Kislin's.
That was sad.
Yeah, which is gone. And
but you're happy to see Toms River families retiring too. And enjoying.
But I will tell you, so I'll go a different route with that. Anyway, so you brought up Hemingway's, and we couldn't remember what it was before, and it's beignets, so whatever. But here's the other way that I see that, right, is that when you're seeing Toms River families retiring, I'm seeing that you're not having generations that are staying here and picking up the family business. That's the flip side of that, is that we have to understand that we have a problem in that we are not keeping our young folks in Ocean County. They're leaving, and they're not carrying on the family tradition. And I see that all the time in the nonprofit community here, because I see we have some really great older generation philanthropists.
That's a New Jersey thing, though, too.
It could be because of the cost of living, and it's yes. Maybe that has to do with the approval rating of our great governor. But we don't talk politics though, right, Jill?
Not with me.
We don't talk politics.
I want to be happy in the morning.
Even though you're all about you have very deep political views, as you know. But anyway,
well, everybody's entitled to an opinion. It's just you don't always have to share it.
You know what they say? Opinions are like tushies. Everybody has one. Maybe that's just a Yiddish term. I don't know. All right, Jill, it's that time where we give you the magic wand, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact on the world. You have had multiple magic wands on this show. This is the final magic wand, and you know what they say? They will remember you by the last magic wand you use. I don't know if anybody's ever said that, actually.
No.
But here it is. What are you doing?
Actually, I am going to take my magic wand, and I am going to take time to say thank you to you.
Oh, okay.
Because I started listening to the show probably in March when I met you last year. And every morning I can honestly say I woke up to the Radio Pup app. I'm that person who listened every morning that I could. And it's really nice to hear all the good that's going on in our town, because I think that sometimes people forget that through the cloud of the complaints. And it's been really nice, and I really appreciate your show and all the good stuff that you have done. So I would like to say thank you to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And as I'm telling people, I am like the gift that keeps on giving, because see, people tell me all the time, like, oh yeah, I get up to listen to your show. And now I'm saying to you, I am giving you back your mornings, right? Monday through Friday.
You can sleep in a little.
You can sleep in with me. No, wait, hold on. You could sleep in. I could sleep in. See what I did there, Zach? And then Sundays we can wake up early together in separate beds and rooms. I'll come and do a radio show, and you can listen. Right, Sundays 7 to 11, which is when everybody should be up having a cup of coffee. Exactly, right?
Yes.
Exactly, and that means that I will be able to actually have a life after 6 p.m. So I'm excited about that. All right. Well, Jill, thank you so much for all you do for the community, because you are. We need volunteers like you who really care about what's happening in our community, and you are definitely one of those people. And every time I see you, I smile because you can't help it. And I would say, this is like you gave me a gift, right? So we get a lot of gifts here. Every day I come home with different gush, right, stuff that people bring me, and you brought me a Post-it notepad that you've written on every few Post-its, like some saying or some positive thing, right?
I did.
So you always have something like you're like one of those like I just gave Zach gift cards for like the holidays. I'm like, here you go, bud. That's the best I could do, right? Because I'm not like I'm not like Marianne or like you, but very thoughtful, and really do appreciate it. And thank you again for all you've done and for being a good friend.
Thank
you.
I had a lot of fun.
All right, good. Hey, more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up right after this.